And good evening, gamers, crafters, gamers, all you alike. We are together tonight. How you doing? Get a couple things, and let's talk about. What's your break? No, I do not have Ray with me this week, but I do have the Lady Dragon.
Disembodied voice being what it is.
And what are we talking about tonight? Well, let's talk about projects. Let's talk about what we're working on. And let's talk about what's hot right now. All kinds of all kinds of great stuff going on at Games Workshop right now. Lots of chat and chatter about it. Chapter Master Valarak and Kirioth. I've had a number of posts this week, really informative stuff. Sorry, my computer's kind of chugging away or trying to get everything open. So let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about the hobby. So let's start with stuff that's important to me. Black Library open submissions went live. We got 4 weeks. What a lot of people don't know about me is that, yes, I'm a war gamer. Yes, I'm a gamer, and I'm all these other things, but I'm also a writer. I've actually written 3 novels and had them published. And
You're good.
I'm working on a concept for Black Library. I don't want to go too much into detail about it, but the whole specialized team unit actually really appeals to me. I actually wrote an entire novel about it that didn't end up selling, but it's a good novel. So at some point, maybe when I get famous, I can do something with it. With that being said, them looking for short fiction about teams and specialized teams and given a couple concept ideas, I actually have a really good idea that I'm working on. And I should have enough time to get it done. The Lady Dragon is going to be down for the count next week for a couple weeks. We're having some surgery, so I'm going to be home a lot more than normal. I'm going to not be gaming as much the next couple weeks. So I will be home, and I'll have time to sit and write. So I'm kind of counting on that. So we're looking at that. So look at it. Look at the Black Library submissions. I mean, it's if you've ever had a hankering to try in your hand, the worst they can tell you is no. Give it a shot. What else? Aeronautica Imperialis. Looks like a fun game. Not a game I'm going to buy. Honestly, the main reason I'm not going to buy it is I don't need another addiction. I have enough invested in 40K that I can use for Kill Team. I have enough invested in Age of Sigmar that I can use for Warcry. I am right now really, really trying to resist the urge to get into Flames of War. Because Uncle Adam from Tabletop Minions made a statement a couple months back, and I don't disagree with him. You get to a certain age, you're like, I like fantasy, I like sci-fi, I like fantasy, I like sci-fi. Ding! Historical wargaming. That interests me. And I've always looked at historical wargaming like, it's cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's cool. Now I'm like, $50, I get a starter box. It gives me a full American army and a full German army, tanks and infantry and rule book, and it's $50. And I get to paint World War II armies. Why is this appealing to me?
Because you're insane and old.
Yeah, so I'm insane and old.
That, and also a quick shout out to Rick over at a Games Universe in town with us, down on the south side in Franklin. He has been teaching it to new players pretty much every week for the last however long we've been doing Escalation.
Yeah.
And he's a really good teacher, and I've been listening to him. He's also a Warhammer player. So to those who come from Warhammer into that game, he likens a lot of the tactics and whatnot to different factions within Warhammer. So it's a lot of fun. He's a great guy. If you ever have a chance to go down to the Franklin Games Universe on a Thursday night, he's there. Look him up. He's awesome. He's part of the same team that Uncle Adam's also a member of.
They run the Badger Wargaming Association. And here's the thing. Flames of War is a really great game. Adam has a bunch of videos about it. He talks about it quite a bit. There's a lot of how to play. It's a simple game.
Very simple.
But the rules get complex. It's a very similar, in the feel at least, as Warhammer 40K 8th edition. Not the same types of rules, but I mean the fact that it's simple, but it's complex at the same time. So, yeah, it might be something I'll look at for Christmas. Probably not before then. With the Lady Dragon being down, hobby budgets. I did a video about this also. Hobby budgets, you got a budget. And because real life is so important right now, my budgeting is right now nothing. I have to work on what I got. Oh no, I have to work on what I got.
Yes, heaven help him. He has to actually finish a bloody project.
So that brings us to what's on your bench. So I've been working on my Space Wolves army, and I just got this bad boy. And when I say I just got it, I got this a week and a half ago, and it is done. Fully magnetized. I have the plasma around here somewhere, right here. So it's fully magnetized. So I bought the Executioner, and I have it so I can take this apart, so I can just use this. I can easily transport, not worrying about breaking pieces off. But yeah, the plasma and the laser are both magnetized, so I can take them off. Those are the only optional pieces other than the Icarus, and I'm always going to use the Icarus, so I left the Icarus out. But I love this model a lot more than I thought I would. After painting this up and really getting some nice weathering effects using my airbrush, I'm getting a lot more confident, a lot more happy with an airbrush. So, you know, airbrushes are awesome. Learn with them. Don't expect your first project to be with them to be super amazing, but after you use them a bit and you start to understand why they work, you're going to get some really great effects. So, airbrushes. Just so it's said, I started off with a cheap Chinese knockoff, and I upgraded to an Iwata Eclipse. So this thing is been a godsend for my painting. But with this piece done, I've got pieces along the line I'd like to build for the rest of my Space Wolves army. I'd like to get a couple units of Wolfen. I don't actually have any of them yet. I'm almost an entirely Primaris army, other than 2 squads of Gray Hunters and a Smash Captain I've built. It's almost all Primaris. I want to get some non-Primaris to put in there and maybe expand it, but I've got already close to 3,000 points of Space Wolves without even trying. Hello, Lady Dragon.
Hello, everybody.
So that brings me to the next project that I'm working on, which is...
This is orange juice.
Yeah, that's orange juice, and this is Sprite. My next project, which surprisingly looks a lot like... Surprisingly... Okay, as you all know, I do have 2 spawn, and my crafting table is in the middle of the house. So,
and consequently, the one that you just heard is
Will, you saw her last week.
And Will has been very, very excited over having some new friends who are just as into Marvel as they are, and considering Will's secret crush, not so secret, is Bucky. So
Marvel needs a better miniatures game.
Huh?
Marvel needs a better miniatures game.
they really do.
I mean, I don't mind HeroClix, but they need a better miniatures game.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, what's going on? So as I was saying, my new project is this. These look like Necromunda girls, Escher Gang, but no. Secretly, if you look at the shoulder pack, you'll see I am building an Imperial Guard force out of them. Yeah. Well, it doesn't really have to do too much kit batching, which is a lovely thing about it. The chemical weapon I'm going to convert to a flamer, and I've got enough extra Vox casters that I'm going to put one in every squad. So the idea is that my Space Wolves have a home guard from Fenris that are their women. And I know, lore freaks are going to be like, no, that's so against the lore. But you know what? They're Vikings. They're space Vikings.
And they're not Marines.
They are Marines.
Well,
the wolves are Marines. These guys are Marines.
They're not Marines.
No. So the whole
we're not breaking the lore with that.
Well, we are. We're breaking lore, but you know what? I don't care because this is my lore, and my lore is that these are space Vikings, and space Vikings without women are like alcohol-free beer. It just shouldn't exist.
It's called a Googles.
It shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
It is an affront to humanity. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said,
Where are the extra paints?
the extra paints, all paints underneath here.
I'm looking.
Going hobby diving. Hang on.
Seriously. Look at these. These are shades. Good. I put the shades away.
Here's this.
That's what it was looking
I
for.
love having my hobby bench the way that she encouraged me to build it.
Oh, trust me, it took me a couple of months.
But it's lovely because I can have storage underneath here and I can get the things and I can have stuff lying around. So yeah, I'm working on this army, and this is the first figures built. But I've got 3 boxes of Escher Gang girls, and we're gonna paint them up in near Space Wolf colors. We're gonna still leave all their exposed flesh, but a lots of the cloth is going to be done in Space Wolf gray and blacks, and then the tops, instead of doing them in the Space Wolf yellow, I'm actually thinking about doing them in the red that the Space Wolves use for their alternate colors.
Okay.
So they'll be red in Space Wolf's gray and lots of skin and black. So they're going to be badass Viker chicks. Viking chicks. So there's going to be 30 of them, and then we are converting a Inquisitor's Shadow or Greyfax into our company commander, and we've already taken and built a female Primaris Psyker. Lady Dragon did. It looked great. She entered it in Everchosen. It got a vote. It's a good figure, though. It looks pretty. I'm going to be glad and happy to put it on the table in front of me when I'm playing them. And so will she when she's playing them, because we're going to share playing them.
Except for I can think about 3 ways I can make her better now.
That's fine. You can build your own army then. Here's mine.
Whose idea was this originally?
But we also got an Apocalypse box of the Imperial Guard for their tanks and whatnot. And the problem is I've got all these extra units in there. I'm going to end up donating those units to my son's Piraeus Imperial Guard army. And in return, I'm going to have him buy me another Escher box to make up for those command squad and whatnot, so we can make all those guys in the Imperial Guard that I want. Because I want it to be an all-female unit. My tank commander is going to be female.
I tried to get him to put a couple of males in there just so that my female commander can have the phrase, the slappings will continue until morale improves.
But I just, I really want it to be an all-female force. I just really want that. I wanted to actually build an all-female Marine army. Build a unique.
Kina has one of those.
Yeah.
Hers is pretty cool.
I wanted to build my own unique. I wanted, especially with the new rules, with the new rules, I wanted to build my own Primaris female army. I still might. If I have to Lotto, I'm gonna do it definitely. But you know, Lotto. Never drew the Lotto. It's one of those things. It's a slow build. So,
it's up over 100,000, 100 million again.
Yeah. So there's that. But to go with an Imperial Guard, I also got an Apocalypse box of Imperial Knights. So we're going to have 2 Helverins and a Castellian to go with that 1,000 points of Imperial Guard. And so it'll be 1,000 points of Imperial Guard and 1,000 points of Knights. And that'll be a pretty good army, actually. I'm actually really looking forward to playing that one. I've been looking at the rules and looking at how they play, and I'm kind of excited. It'll also let us play 2,000 points of Imperial Guard and 2,000 points of Marines at a 2-on-2 for somebody playing, you know, Heretical Chaos or some horrible Psycho Elves, you know. So what are you working on?
I am actually in the middle of trying to paint up a group of witches that I had to salvage. So I learned the hard way that when this is just a little thing, if you have to store your glue, your plastic glue, yay, Reed, welcome.
Hey, Reed.
But make sure that it's very, very, very tightly closed. And
if you can avoid it, just put it in a different container.
So I didn't, and where do we still have the casualty?
I put them over
pile?
by you.
No, I was looking for the pile.
No, the glue pile, I threw that away.
Okay, so I had 8 of these girls, and well, you can kind of see the damage that ended up happening to them.
So we lost a half bottle of glue, and it congealed in a pile of pieces in the bottom of a box.
As they melted all of my witches.
So,
with the exception of a couple.
Safety tip, cap, and put in a different box.
So now I am currently working on a new group of witches because I had a few other boxes, and I want to play Ynnari. So the Ynnari have 2 different colors that they use for their witches, black being their main for the bodysuits, and they can either do Ynnari Red, which is the color of Yvraine, their leader, or you can do it in purple, green in honor of Biel-Tan. If you're playing Eldar, the Eldar will either paint their armor reds, or they're either their reds, their blacks, or their greens, all in honor of Biel-Tan. As a matter of fact, the Ynnari symbol is a combination between the Biel-Tan symbol and the Whispering God Ynid.
So I'm actually painting the small Eldar unit we have with them. I finished the Wraith Knights, or Wraith whatever.
That thing.
Dudes with guns, big Wraiths. They're like this tall. And I've started work on the transport, and I've got the unit primed, and I've got their base coat down, and I'm just working on some of their additional colors. Unfortunately, I don't really like. I thought I'd like them a lot more than I do. I don't like the figures. I'm not a fan of the Eldar builds.
He's a bigger fan of them than he is of the Tau. He's a little racist against the Tau.
I bought a box of Tau because I wanted them for Kill Team.
He was really excited about them.
And I built one. And I'm looking at the rest of the sprue going, what? So, yeah. Not the Tau are bad. They're not the way I play the game, and I don't understand the figures. I mean, these guys are fiddly as heck, and they make sense to me because I can look at them and see what they've got and what they are. And every Tau weapon, although they all look different, they're all the same weapon. Tau are not for me. Now not to say that if someone had a pre-built Tau army, which a very good friend of mine had one that he used to play back during 5th edition, and he doesn't play anymore. He's loaned it to me, so I'm trying to go through and just kind of test play it to get better at playing the Tau, just to kind of understand them better. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
He doesn't like being able to shoot from a half mile. Like,
no, it's not the way that they play that I have the problem with. You can put 10 Tau figures down, and I can't tell the difference between them. Not to save my life. I can look at 10 Marines and go, oh, that's this, that's this, that's this. I can look at 10 Witches. I can look at 10 Drukhari and tell them apart. I can actually look at the Eldar and tell them apart. I can look at a pile of Tau, and I'm like, yep, those are guys in armor. And they got pointy square sticks. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. They're Tau. I think I got to go with General Kitten there. Hate them. Burn them all. Burn them all. All right. So that's what I got on the table. That's what we're working on right now. I'm also working on an Orc Kill Team. I think I showed you guys. I just started on them.
he's very enthralled with them.
I love the builds. I'm going to probably not build an entire Orc army. I thought about it at some point, but I'm just like, I love them. They're fun. They're hilarious. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they play. I'm really liking the Imperial Guard concept, and I'm really liking. I love my Space Wolves, and I admit Marines are my love. Space Wolves are my love. Space Wolves what got me into Warhammer 40K.
Space Vikings.
So
I got into the BDSM elves.
yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
So then there's Age of Sigmar. So I bought Age of Sigmar because that's actually what originally got the wife's interest. She's like, oh, these guys are cool. I like them. They're pretty. So we bought the box, and we bought a starter box. We bought even a basic starter box to get her started. She liked them, so I've been getting rid of a bunch of my Magic cards, and I bought an actual Soul Wars starter box. And I've built one figure out of that box, and she's built none, and we've really just dove into 40K.
I would like to point out that I was actually in the middle of building a Stormcast army, and then somebody mentioned BDSM elves, and I have been working on my army.
Which I'm really glad for, because I do like 40K more than I like Age of Sigmar. And I mean it in the lore. I like Age of Sigmar. I just like the lore of 40K better. So, that being said, we've been getting into that with Warcry. Warcry has actually sparked a lot of interest. And the neat thing is you can build really small armies. The Soul Wars box set has enough Night Haunt in it, and the right Night Haunt, that other than buying a Spirit Host box, we had all the figures we needed to build a Night Haunt army right out of the box.
And to quote my friend Tina, who was putting together some of those as husband, they look like spirit trees. They're also a pain in the ass.
So we've got those, and we're building those.
You haven't touched the box yet.
Yeah.
Have you?
I looked at them really closely. We also picked up a box of Stormcast because nobody in the Stormcast box can actually be used in Warcry, except I'm going to. We're going to use a couple of the crossbow guys as a replacement for Hurricane crossbows, because just a guy with a crossbow doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter.
Oh, hey, you're the one who does all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap them out that way. I got to get another Gryph-hound because we need a second Gryph-hound. We have a Gryph-hound. The box came with one Gryph-hound in it, and the full box comes with none. We have one whole Gryph-hound. We need 2 to build an army.
Wow.
Yeah, to build a Warcry band, you need 2 because points are annoying. Because Stormcast are stupidly expensive. Holy crap. Yeah, but you can't use any of their melee guys. So, what do I know? I love my freaks, my bladed freaks, so they're fine. But we like Warcry. Warcry is a lot of fun.
It's easier for someone like me. I really suck at. I'm slow at picking up rules, and it was pretty easy for me to pick up. Thanks to Tina. Was the one who taught me how to play, and my first mission from her was she was playing Nighthaunt, I was playing the Cypher Lords, and my mission was to get the hell out of Dodge. Run away!
So you got that. What else we got going on?
Gaming wise, you've been.
Oh, I know what we're doing. I'm working on a video that I meant to get up yesterday, but I had to let some pieces dry. I'm working on some terrain.
Yeah,
they're out of reach. No big deal.
I see where they're at.
Yeah. I'm working on my way of building an inexpensive chemical plant, or at least the pipes and tanks and stuff for a chemical plant. So nice scatter terrain.
As he's mentioned before, he's been doing this zombie game, and they would make it's also really good not only for Warhammer, but also for doing any modern terrain, horror, or just modern games.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like chemical plant. It's not specifically a replacement for the plasma conduits, but it's just good terrain. So, and to make the board, break it up and make it epic. That being said, again, talking about terrain and talking about wargaming, a couple days ago, IDIC Beer, it's a great channel on Warhammer 40K. He just reached the 15,000 subscriber mark. So he held a contest where basically somebody has a channel and they agree to the terms of the whole shebang, that they can be put in a drawing. And I won the drawing. So I gotta wait for it to get here from jolly old England. But that looks good. That's good. But I have a box of stuff. Wargaming related stuff.
Because that's a technical term.
Well, it's stuff because we don't know what it is. It's a mystery box. So when I get that, I'm going to be doing a mystery unboxing. And the cool thing about it is that that unboxing will lead to, when I get the 500 subscriber mark, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be putting together a box of some cool stuff that I think is good for wargaming and crafting wargaming. And I'm going to put together that box, and I'm going to hold that drawing and give it away to, again, somebody else who's got a channel that they're trying to get more views on, and to get that out there, to pay it forward to the gaming community. In that vein, I've joined the Wargamers Unification group. Children. I've joined the Warhamers Unification group, which is a group of related wargaming channels that is administered by Nick from IDIC Beer. And it allows us people who run channels to talk to each other, and to people that play games that do a lot of stuff on YouTube, just want to see better content. It kind of gives them a look for this logo. It's one of these channels that we work on. So you'll see more of my videos actually running the logo on there so that people know that I'm part of that group. So that comes to the whole, I'm looking for feedback. I know I do pretty good content. I like the content I do, but I want to do more. That was what brought about doing this live stream once a week, where I can just sit and talk and babble and let my brain just go. And if people I'm talking to and listening have ideas, they can throw them out there. They can either throw them in the chat, or they can send them in the comments afterwards if they read it after the fact, or they can go on my channel and they can talk about it. But the idea is that I built this channel to teach gamers. to teach them how to build stuff for their table, to teach them how to paint better, how to work better, how to epic their game. And yes, this is for role players too, because I do stuff for role-playing games. But I know I've been a lot more focused on wargaming lately, and that's mainly because I'm enjoying that a lot more. I'm enjoying wargaming a lot more. So as I'm enjoying it more, I'm doing it more.
Mm-hmm. Don't give me
I'm just telling you.
Why are you telling me? I already know this.
Because you're my wife.
Talk to them. Why would I want to talk to you? I live with you.
So there's that. So, you know, I want to hear back from people. If you've got ideas, if you love something that you'd like to see me do, or if you got a challenge, hey, can you do X? Can you do Y? Challenge me. Let me see what I can do.
Don't challenge him to build an airship, whatever you do.
I can build an airship. I don't know. I want to build another one.
Should have listened to me.
Whatever. Yeah.
If you can't tell, he's had a very long day at work.
Been a long day and a lot of pain. So.
And when he's not at work, he's having to deal with me, who's currently hyped up on pain meds. Yay me.
So.
That pain is no thing. What are you going to talk about now?
Well, let's talk about what else is going on in the game, in the Warhammer community. What's going on in Warhammer? What is this?
I don't know. Apparently it likes you.
Yeah. Let's talk about Warhammer. Let's talk about what we want to see next. That might be neat. Talk about what we want to see next.
Lemon Rush. I want to see a Lemon Rush at the table.
So, yeah. She likes my wolves. She doesn't want to play them, but she likes the lore behind them.
Don't get me wrong. I think all Imperium are a bunch of Nazis. Literally, I mean, look at them. They're covered in skulls.
Actually, you know what? Here's actually a very good point. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the Space Wolves Codex coming out. So it's only a year-old codex. So,
what's my brush? Inquisitor with
sword bristle. Yeah, I've been looking at Inquisitors for stuff. Hey, here's an idea. Let's see what's on. No, not Star Trek. It's choking out. There we go.
Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's a witch's box.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw Drukari vehicles and got excited there.
Blackstone Fortress. We haven't talked about this at all.
That's because we don't really play it and don't know too much about it.
Well, I know a lot about it. It's a matter of, do we want to play it? Oh, God, it looks
the
like
answer to that would be no.
No, we do want to play it.
No, we don't.
We do want to play it. It looks like a fun board game. It has beautiful figures that beg to be painted.
That's a whole other matter. Yeah, and you know what? Slaneshi forces are beautiful figures that are begging to be painted.
Oh, don't even. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I want to really get. See, that's the thing. Well,
this boy cannot play Order to save his life. He's got to play Chaos.
I can play Order. I'm playing Marines right now.
Yeah, you're Marines who tend to gun down the Inquisitors.
Well, you know.
I don't blame them.
Okay, so Age of Sigmar. Let's talk about Age of Sigmar, because that's obviously what you're talking about. Because, yes, I kind of like the Stormcast, but at the same time, I don't know.
Do you actually even know anything about this?
Age of Sigmar?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually know a lot about it. I've read a lot of the lore, and I've read the rules, and I understand that. I'll tell you what is confusing so far. Trying to build an army on points. Because it's done completely differently than and that's the good thing. That is the good thing about Age of Sigmar. It is totally different as far as the building rules, as opposed to Warhammer 40K. But since we don't have that many Age of Sigmar players, it's really hard to get a grasp on that.
I just want to paint him because they look cool, and Lady Olinder is scary and awesome.
Yes, she really likes death. She likes the Deathbird, which I can't blame you. They're beautiful figures. Yeah, the Hedonites really do. The Hedonites are really gorgeous. I mean, I can't really. I mean, I kind of really want to get my hands still on this Realm of Chaos Wrath and Rapture box, just because. Oh, that's a named. It's a named demon.
No shit.
Hang on. I want to get the Wrath and Rapture box mainly because it'll give me some Slaaneshi stuff to work with, and since Ray wants to build a Khornate army, it'll give him demons for the Khornate side. Because that's basically what.
Look at the blood god.
Yeah. Look at the blood god. Skulls for the Skull Throne. No, Shalasi Hellbane is a named Keeper of Secrets. The thing is that the Shalasi Hellbane is the same as the Keeper of Secrets as far as I think they're in the same box. I think it's just like with the Great Unclean One. If you buy the Great Unclean One box, it's got the options in there. See here, yeah, you buy the Shalasi, it's the same price as Keeper Secrets box. It gives you some extra pieces to build.
Yeah, but she's not. That is not She Who Thirsts. But she looks pretty freaking cool.
No, but she's a greater demon, just like she's.
Great Unclean.
No, she's
But
just.
Great Unclean One's an avatar.
Just like this Keeper of Secrets. So I'm saying the Keeper of Secrets and Shalasi Hellbane are the same figure. It's the exact same figure. It just has a different head and a different weapon. It's like a named character. It's all. Mm-hmm. It's the same figure, same cost. They come in the same box.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they do. See,
yeah, they do.
Yeah, see, it's just like the Great Unclean One that has an option to build their named avatar in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like with the Cain, the Daughters of Cain. Later,
yeah,
you can do her, or you can do the avatar.
Yeah,
which makes me go, wait. That means Cain looks like a giant Medusa.
Yeah.
So Cain's a she?
You gods really have a gender?
Yenneed does.
No, Yenneed really doesn't. If you look at Yenneed, no, Yenneed really doesn't.
Nurgle does. It's very obvious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to play Slaanesh. I really do.
I like the harp thing. I mean, it's
the Infernal Raptress. Yeah,
it's so wicked. And the Vengeful Alliance is just really cool looking.
Yeah, it's just a really great army on a whole. Yeah, just a really great army.
Ever chosen? It's the ever chosen.
Again, I don't know that much about it. But
I thought you said you knew that.
I know about the game. Just because I don't know as much as I know the 40K doesn't mean I don't know anything. I think the Ever Chosen. Let's see.
Well, they're Chaos Forces.
Yeah, the chosen champion of the Chaos Gods. Oh, that's that dude on the dragon.
That's not the dragon. That is not the Star Drake.
No. Not the good guy. The evil guy on the dragon. That guy brought in on that base that one day. Yeah, Archaon. That's his name.
So it's just one dude who just happens to represent all four.
He is basically Archaon. From what I get, Archaon is basically the Abaddon of. He's the Abaddon of Age of Sigmar. You know who Abaddon is, right?
Not completely. I hear people talk about him a lot.
He's the guy from the Black Legion, the guy with the claws and the huge sword.
You assume I pay attention to the Black Legion.
No, but I showed you the figure because I want to paint it very badly. Yeah, I showed it to you. He's the guy that took over for Horus after Horus died.
Bastard.
Yeah. Screw Horus. Killed my fabulous, gorgeous Hawk Boy. And turned his Hawk Boys into the Legion I despise. Gosh, I hate that.
Nothing but death. And if anybody out there plays Blood Angels, I apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like the Blood Angels. I don't like space vampires. Just my thing. But notice I like the Wolves of Fenris. I like werewolves. Werewolves eat vampires. I'm not.
You're not getting a lot of traction tonight.
No, I'm not getting a lot of traction. That's okay. It's all right.
We were.
Gold still on them. So the rumor mill is that the next two Ultramarine, or I should say next two Ultramarine, the next two Space Marine supplements are going to be Salamanders and Iron Hands, I'm hearing. I was hoping for Imperial Fists, honestly. I mean, the Salamanders are great. I'd love to see the Imperial Fists get their due. Just because Rogel Dorn and his boys, they need the love. They need the love.
All I'm hearing you say is woof, 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 woof.
That being said, Marine's getting a lot of love. They've been getting a lot of love. And even though I don't play them, I think the Eldar really need some love. They've got way too many figures that are in Finecast. Way too many needed figures in Finecast. And after playing with Severina Rain this week, what do we think of Finecast? We don't like Finecast. She's like, I'm going to build and paint this Severina Rain. I'm like, okay, you need super glue. Why?
No. This was not even remotely close to the information. He came home, and I'm sitting here with super glue, trying to hold the pieces together, going, what the hell is this shit made out of? It was awful. Awful, I tell you. But she's together.
And she's primed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's unathawed.
Mm-hmm.
So she's ready to be painted.
Yep, her and the rest of my witches and my the rest of the witches from this box anyway. And my prissy bitch that keeps getting knocked off the barge.
And your Ravagers?
My 3 Ravagers,
and a Venom.
And I still need to finish my Raider.
She's
slowly working my way
slow.
through this shit.
She does beautiful work, but she's slow. And that's okay. It's okay to do things your own speed. Like I said, though.
Unless you have a husband like him who likes to point out, hey, I just did all of my entire sect of Frost Wolves last night because I couldn't sleep. Or, hey, honey, look, I've already started on this. How you doing over there? Hey, honey, I was wondering, since I'm all done with my stuff, can I build your vehicles for you? Hey, honey, how do you feel about me putting this together for you? Hey, honey, how's that coming?
She's a little slow.
She's impatient.
I want to play.
Of course, I can't say much because some of the guys that I play with, that he plays with on Escalation Leagues, one of them is a Drukhari player. He's awesome if he's watching this. Hi, Chris. But he was actually the one who loaned me a book that talked about fracturing field tan and whatnot, which was really awesome. I'm almost done with it, so I can bring it back on Thursday. He's definitely looking forward to me finishing up so that he can have someone play alongside him with elves. He plays straight to Drukhari. I play, you know. So. What?
So yeah, what you guys want to do is get you two want to get your 2,000 point armies and face off against me playing my my death card.
Because I'll have you need. Well, I agree to that.
Ugh.
Yeah, the nice thing about my army is that I will have the Triumvirate of the Inari on the table with me, including the Incarn. who is a nasty greater demon classification who has the ability to port around the board whenever an elven unit goes down.
So,
And if an elf dies within 6 inches of him, he gains a wound. He heals a wound.
so he's just like the hungering one.
I have no idea.
He's a demon that eats elves.
He doesn't eat the elves. He's saving their souls.
Yeah.
How do you think he resurrects their butts?
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah, you do. So, how about this? We're completely off topic. No, I'm not.
So yeah, I think the elves need some love. I think they need to do aspect warriors in plastic. I think they need to do the aspect lords or whatever they're called in plastic. I think orcs need some more love. I know that there's some orc players who've been talking about needing some of their figures to be. I don't know what they need, but they haven't seen new stuff in a while. And I think orcs could use the love. I think I've seen so much. I mean, I've been back in the 40K since February. In February. And I have seen nothing but really great stuff for the Marines. And I'm not complaining. I love all the stuff I've seen for the Marines. But gosh, give the other people some love. You know, Sisters of Silent. I mean, Sisters of Battle are getting. They're hopefully getting their boxes and new guys soon. I don't know if I'm going to play them. I really like the build, but at the same time, I really hate the build.
I just want to get a box of them to paint them as the Daughters of Nurgle. For those of you who don't know, according to lore, there was actually a group of Sisters of Battle that actually fell to Nurgle.
So take 7 and make a squad of Plague Marines out of them. But they're girls. Oh, that's not canon.
Actually, it is. That's not canon. Yes, it is, kitten. Shut up.
Oh, speaking of kitten, this is what Ray has on the. He's starting to build his Custodes army. He's doing just a small detachment of Custodes. It's basically going to be a bunch of jet bikes.
She's your kid, man.
Teenagers are a wonder. All right, I'm running out of steam. The child seems to be hyped up on.
You gave them an Arizona tea that wasn't white.
Sugar and caffeine. And I'm in a lot of pain, actually. So I think we're going to call it a little early here tonight. I think we're going to call it about 10 minutes early. I hate to do it, but, you know, it's okay. I love you guys. Thank you for dropping by. And
don't expect to see me too much. Next week, I will not be in attendance. I will probably be out cold on whatever my doctor has decided to give me to deal with the pain of what they're doing to me.
So expect to see a video from me later this week. I'll try to get a second one out, but I'm not sure. Either way, happy your board, happy your table. Game on.